Welcome to BookBuzz Reviews and Summaries. Imagine for a moment that your brain is like a sculptor's block of marble, raw and brimming with untapped potential. Every thought, decision, habit, and experience chisels away at it, shaping and reshaping it into something unique, dynamic, and profoundly yours. What if I told you that the power to mold your brain, to improve your focus, sharpen your memory, enhance your creativity, and even elevate your happiness, lies entirely within your control? What if your brain wasn't just an unchanging organ, but a constantly evolving masterpiece? Welcome to the groundbreaking world of mind sculpture, Unlocking Your Brain's Untapped Potential by Ian H. Robertson, where science meets self-transformation in the most fascinating way imaginable. In this riveting exploration, Ian H. Robertson, an internationally renowned neuroscientist and psychologist, invites us to uncover the secrets of our brain's incredible adaptability, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself, to form new neural connections and strengthen existing ones based on our behaviors, thoughts, and environment. In other words, your brain isn't static. It's a living, breathing, and ever-changing organ that holds the key to unlocking your fullest potential. With mind sculpture, Robertson serves as both a guide and a mentor, showing us how to harness this power to transform our lives from the inside out. But let's step back for a moment and consider the incredible promise of this concept. What if you could rewire your brain to conquer self-doubt, break free from bad habits, or achieve goals that once felt out of reach? What if the path to personal growth wasn't as much about willpower or talent as it was about understanding the science of how your brain works? In Mind Sculpture, Robertson argues that the brain is not just a passive processor of information, it's an active participant in shaping who we are and who we can become. And the best part? The process of sculpting your mind is something you can start today, regardless of your age, background, or current circumstances. Now, let's dig deeper into why this book is so extraordinary. Robertson's approach is rooted in cutting-edge neuroscience, but written with an accessibility that makes even the most complex ideas understandable and actionable. This isn't a dry academic textbook filled with jargon. It's a vivid, engaging, and inspiring roadmap to self-improvement. Through compelling stories, fascinating research, and practical exercises, Robertson breaks down the science of neuroplasticity and translates it into actionable steps you can take to reshape your brain and, by extension, your life. Consider this. Every time you learn something new, your brain changes. Every time you think a positive thought, overcome a fear, or practice a skill, you're literally rewiring your neural circuits. Robertson calls this process mind sculpture, and it's as empowering as it is awe-inspiring. It means that growth is not just possible, it's inevitable when you apply the principles laid out in this book. Whether you're looking to boost your career, enhance your relationships, or simply feel more fulfilled, Mind Sculpture offers the tools you need to succeed. What sets this book apart is not just its science, but its humanity. Robertson understands that change isn't always easy and that the brain's remarkable flexibility can be both a blessing and a challenge. After all, the same neuroplasticity that allows us to learn and grow can also reinforce bad habits and negative thought patterns. But here's the good news. By becoming aware of how your brain works, you can take control of this process. Mind Sculpture teaches you how to identify and break free from self-limiting beliefs, reframe your mindset, and create new neural pathways that align with your goals and values. One of the book's most captivating aspects is its exploration of the brain's adaptability at every stage of life. It debunks the myth that our mental faculties peak in youth and decline inevitably with age. Instead, Robertson shows us that the brain remains malleable throughout our lives, capable of growth and renewal at any age. This revelation is both empowering and liberating, offering hope to anyone who feels stuck or constrained by their circumstances. Whether you're 20 or 70, The principles in mind sculpture can help you unlock new levels of potential. But Robertson doesn't just tell us about the brain's potential, he shows us how to tap into it. The book is packed with practical exercises and strategies designed to help you train your brain in specific ways. Want to improve your memory? There's a chapter for that. Struggling with focus and productivity. Robertson offers proven techniques to sharpen your attention. Feeling overwhelmed by stress? Learn how to rewire your brain for resilience and calm. Each chapter is like a mini masterclass in self-improvement, blending science with actionable advice that you can start applying immediately. And it's not just about personal transformation. Mind sculpture also delves into the broader implications of neuroplasticity, exploring how our environments, relationships, and even our culture shape our brains. Robertson challenges us to think about how we can create spaces, both physical and social, that support growth and well-being. Whether it's designing a more stimulating workspace, cultivating positive relationships, or engaging in lifelong learning, this book inspires us to think bigger about what's possible for ourselves and our communities. As you listen to this book, you'll find yourself questioning old assumptions and embracing new possibilities. You'll start to see your brain not as a fixed entity, but as a dynamic, ever-evolving part of who you are. And as you put the principles of mind sculpture into practice, you'll begin to notice subtle yet profound changes in your life. Maybe you'll find yourself handling challenges with greater ease or approaching goals with renewed determination. Perhaps you'll discover strengths you didn't know you had or develop a deeper sense of connection to yourself and others. Whatever your journey looks like, one thing is certain. By the end of this book, you'll have a newfound appreciation for the incredible potential of your brain. So, as we embark on this journey together, I invite you to approach mind sculpture with an open mind and a sense of curiosity. Let yourself be inspired by the stories, intrigued by the science, and motivated by the exercises. This isn't just a book. It's an invitation to step into the role of sculptor and start shaping your mind and your life in ways you never thought possible. Whether you're looking to make small changes or big transformations, the tools and insights in this book will help you unlock the untapped potential within you. Welcome to the world of mind sculpture. Your brain is ready. Are you?
Part 1.
Introduction. The Plastic Brain. In the introduction to Mind Sculpture, Ian H. Robertson lays the foundation for a fascinating exploration of the human brain's incredible capacity for change. He opens with the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Robertson argues that the brain is not a static organ but rather a dynamic, adaptable one, constantly shaping and reshaping in response to experience, learning, and practice. The introduction serves as a captivating gateway, promising that the book will offer practical ways to harness this neuroplasticity, unlocking hidden potential. Robertson paints a picture of a world where mental growth is not only possible but also within our direct control. By understanding how the brain works, we can take steps to enhance cognitive abilities, emotional regulation, and even creativity. Chapter 1. The Power of Your Mind. In Chapter 1, Robertson dives into the science behind brain plasticity. He starts by describing the brain as a finely tuned organ designed to be reshaped by experiences, learning, and even thoughts. He introduces groundbreaking research that demonstrates how mental effort can physically alter the structure of the brain. The reader is introduced to the concept of mind sculpting, a process by which we consciously reshape the neural pathways in our brains to unlock new abilities. Robertson explains that the brain is like clay, constantly being molded and reshaped by our environment, thoughts, and experiences. With examples from his own research and case studies, he highlights how mental effort, whether through learning new skills, overcoming adversity, or practicing mindfulness, can lead to structural changes that enhance mental faculties. He emphasizes that the potential for growth is limitless, but it requires intentionality and effort. Chapter 2. the brain's amazing capacity for change. This chapter delves deeper into the science behind neuroplasticity. Robertson highlights how the brain's wiring is not fixed but instead constantly adapting, even into later adulthood. He describes how learning new tasks or acquiring new knowledge triggers the formation of new synapses, strengthening existing ones and even creating entirely new neural pathways. The brain is, in essence, rewiring itself to accommodate these new activities, skills, and behaviors. Robertson goes on to share a compelling story about an individual who experienced a profound transformation in mental ability after practicing a novel skill, demonstrating how even drastic changes in cognition can occur with sustained effort. By providing examples of how individuals have overcome cognitive challenges or learned entirely new skills well into their 60s and 70s, Robertson challenges the common belief that cognitive decline is inevitable with age. Instead, he encourages readers to embrace learning as a lifelong endeavor to enhance brain function. Chapter 3: Sculpting Your Cognitive Abilities. In Chapter 3, Robertson begins to offer practical advice on how to apply the principles of neuroplasticity to enhance cognitive abilities. He introduces the concept of cognitive exercises, activities designed to improve mental sharpness, memory, and creativity. These exercises focus on stimulating different regions of the brain, forcing the mind to adapt and grow stronger. Robertson emphasizes the importance of consistency and gradual progression, starting with simple tasks and then escalating the complexity as the brain becomes accustomed to new patterns. One of the standout exercises involves engaging in activities that challenge your brain in novel ways, such as learning a new language, playing an instrument, or solving complex puzzles. The underlying principle here is that doing things that push you out of your comfort zone forces your brain to grow. The chapter is full of tips for daily practices that activate and strengthen different parts of the brain, from meditation and visualization to practicing memory techniques and strategic problem solving. Chapter 4: Breaking the Habit Loop. This chapter explores the role of habits in shaping the brain. Robertson explains that much of our daily behavior operates on autopilot, governed by neural pathways formed by repeated actions. While these habits can be incredibly useful, they can also become limiting, especially if they prevent us from thinking creatively or adapting to new situations. Robertson introduces the concept of habit loops, where a specific trigger leads to a habitual response, which in turn reinforces the neural pathways involved in that behavior. He discusses the powerful role of reinforcement in habit formation, explaining how negative habits can be broken by disrupting the cycle and replacing them with positive, brain-enhancing habits. He shares techniques for doing so, such as mindfulness and cognitive restructuring, where we consciously interrupt the automatic responses that have formed in our brains and reprogram them toward healthier, more productive patterns. Chapter 5: The Role of Emotions in Brain Development. In this chapter, Robertson examines the profound connection between emotions and cognitive development. He introduces the idea that our emotional states are not just byproducts of brain activity, but active participants in shaping the brain structure. Robertson emphasizes that emotional experiences, both positive and negative, leave lasting imprints on the brain. These emotional imprints can affect everything from memory to decision-making to creativity. He also explains that managing our emotions is crucial to brain sculpting. When we experience intense emotions, particularly stress, the brain releases chemicals that can damage neural structures. Conversely, positive emotions like joy, gratitude, and love can strengthen neural connections. Robertson stresses the importance of emotional intelligence and provides practical exercises, such as emotional regulation techniques, to help readers manage their emotions more effectively and harness their power to boost cognitive function. Chapter 6: The Brain-Body Connection. Chapter 6 explores the relationship between physical health and brain function. Robertson explains that the brain is not an isolated organ. Rather, it is deeply intertwined with the rest of the body. The health of the body directly impacts brain health, and vice versa. He outlines how physical activities such as exercise, nutrition, and sleep contribute to brain plasticity. For example, aerobic exercise has been shown to increase the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that promotes the growth and survival of neurons. Robertson also emphasizes the importance of sleep, pointing out that it plays a crucial role in consolidating memories and removing toxic byproducts from the brain. He advocates for a holistic approach to mental enhancement that includes not just mental exercises but also physical care for the body. After all, a healthy body is the foundation for a healthy brain. Chapter 7: Creativity and the Sculpted Mind. In Chapter 7, Robertson shifts focus to creativity, exploring how we can unlock the brain's potential for innovation. He explains that the brain's plasticity is not limited to logical reasoning and memory, but extends to creative thinking as well. By engaging in activities that promote creative thinking, such as brainstorming, free writing, or exploring art, individuals can strengthen the neural pathways that foster creativity. Robertson offers exercises designed to enhance divergent thinking, the ability to generate many possible solutions to a problem, and convergent thinking, the ability to focus on one optimal solution. He also introduces the idea of mental flexibility, the ability to switch between different modes of thinking, and how this flexibility plays a crucial role in solving complex problems and innovating. Part 2. Chapter 8: The Limits of Your Brain and How to Overcome Them. In Chapter 8, Robertson confronts a critical question: are there limits to the brain's potential? He takes a deep dive into the constraints that we often impose on our brains, whether through self-doubt, the aging process, or the influence of external factors like stress and negative environments. While acknowledging that the brain does have natural limitations, Robertson argues that these boundaries are often much more flexible than we realize. He offers insight into overcoming mental blocks, emphasizing the importance of mindset. The chapter is packed with fascinating case studies of individuals who have defied expectations, pushing beyond perceived cognitive limitations to achieve extraordinary feats. By adopting a growth mindset, one can override the brain's initial resistance to change. Robertson provides strategies for breaking through mental barriers, whether it's tackling imposter syndrome or managing the psychological effects of aging, by embracing resilience, learning from failure, and pushing past discomfort. This chapter serves as an empowering reminder that limitations are often self-imposed, and with the right mindset and strategies, they can be dismantled, making room for growth and achievement. Chapter 9: The Role of Beliefs in Brain Sculpting. In Chapter 9, Robertson dives into the powerful role that beliefs play in shaping the brain. He argues that our beliefs, whether positive or negative, directly influence how we perceive the world, how we react to challenges, and, crucially, how we reshape our brains. He introduces the concept of neurocognitive belief systems, which are deeply embedded neural patterns that form as a result of repeated thoughts and experiences. Robertson explains how beliefs about our own abilities, often shaped by early life experiences, societal influences, or past failures, can become self-fulfilling prophecies. When we believe we are incapable of learning something new, our brain wires itself in a way that reinforces this belief, making it harder to succeed. On the flip side, when we hold empowering beliefs, the brain responds by forming connections that support our goals. The chapter provides practical advice on how to challenge limiting beliefs and reframe them into empowering ones. Robertson offers several cognitive techniques for shifting thought patterns, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, exercises, visualization, and affirmations, all aimed at unlocking the brain's potential by altering the mental scripts that limit us. Chapter 10: The Power of Focus: Training Your Brain for Success. Focus is one of the most powerful tools for unlocking the brain's potential, and Chapter 10 is all about harnessing that power. Robertson explores the science of attention, explaining how the brain's ability to concentrate on a single task can significantly enhance its performance. He emphasizes that focus isn't just about blocking out distractions, but actively training the brain to maintain attention on tasks that require deep cognitive engagement. Through techniques like mindfulness and meditation, Robertson shows how individuals can improve their attention span and mental clarity. He also underscores the role of deliberate practice, setting aside time each day to focus intensely on a task, whether it's learning a new skill, solving complex problems, or engaging in creative endeavors. He introduces the idea of focus sprints, short, high-intensity bursts of concentration followed by breaks, and how this method boosts brain performance. The chapter also discusses the relationship between focus and emotional regulation, explaining that when we are emotionally overwhelmed or stressed, it becomes much harder to concentrate. Robertson offers strategies for managing emotions and cultivating calmness to improve focus and productivity, such as breathing exercises and mindfulness techniques. Chapter 11. The Influence of Environment: Sculpting the Surroundings for Brain Growth. Our environment plays a significant role in brain development, and Chapter 11 focuses on optimizing surroundings to support cognitive growth. Robertson discusses how our physical, social, and mental environments can either hinder or accelerate brain plasticity. From the spaces we work in to the people we surround ourselves with, every element of our environment has a direct impact on our mental performance. Robertson highlights research that shows how a stimulating environment, one that is rich in learning opportunities and supportive relationships, can lead to enhanced cognitive function, creativity, and emotional well-being. He offers tips on how to cultivate an environment that fosters growth, such as organizing your workspace, surrounding yourself with positive influences, and seeking out social groups or communities that encourage intellectual and emotional development. One of the most striking pieces of advice in this chapter is the importance of mental decluttering. Robertson suggests that a cluttered mind or disorganized environment can lead to cognitive overload, which impedes brain function. By simplifying both your surroundings and your mental processes, you can create space for clearer thinking and more productive mental activity. Chapter 12. Harnessing the Power of Memory: Techniques for Long-Term Retention. Memory plays a crucial role in brain sculpting, and Chapter 12 delves into techniques for improving long-term memory retention. Robertson explains how memory works on a neural level, highlighting the importance of repetition, association, and emotional engagement in retaining information. He introduces various memory techniques such as chunking, the method of loci or memory palace, and the PEG system, which help the brain organize and store information more effectively. The chapter also explores the connection between memory and learning, emphasizing that a strong memory foundation supports the brain's ability to learn new skills, absorb new information, and think creatively. Robertson provides exercises to improve memory, such as associating facts with vivid imagery or personal stories, which enhance neural connections and make information easier to recall. He discusses the concept of mindful memory, which involves being fully present while learning or experiencing something new in order to maximize the brain's ability to absorb and store the information. This mindfulness practice can be applied not just to academic learning but to everyday life, from remembering people's names to retaining complex ideas in your professional life. Chapter 13. Mind Sculpture in Action: Real-World Applications. The final chapter of Mind Sculpture takes a pragmatic turn, bringing the abstract concepts of brain sculpting into the real world. Robertson explains how the techniques he has outlined can be applied in various life situations, from improving performance at work to overcoming personal challenges. He introduces the idea of using mind sculpting to achieve specific goals, whether that means learning a new language, improving physical health, or mastering a complex skill. One of the key messages of this chapter is that brain sculpting isn't just for academics or intellectuals. It's for anyone who wants to improve their life in meaningful ways. Robertson shares stories of individuals who have used mind sculpting techniques to transform their careers, relationships, and health. By setting clear goals, maintaining a growth mindset, and consistently applying the principles of neuroplasticity, anyone can reshape their brain for success. He concludes with a call to action, encouraging readers to take charge of their brain's potential by implementing the tools and strategies discussed throughout the book. Mind sculpting, Robertson suggests, is not a one-time process, but a lifelong commitment to personal growth, and the results are well worth the effort. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new video updates.